International Business School. It's 9:30 a.m. in the morning, Tuesday, December 20th, 2022. I am your host, Rendy Gustavianno Surya, and welcome to Bromo News, where we report news regarding the development of our sustainable environment efforts in Indonesia. Plastic waste has been amongst the core issue in Indonesia's environment, with a recorded data of 64 million tons per year, according to Badan Pusat Statistik Indonesia and Indonesian Plastic Industry Association. It is an ever-growing issue that requires attention from every individual. The existence of plastic waste itself causes many environmental issues, such as global warming, the spread of toxins, increased intensity in natural disasters, for example, floods and landslides, and sea pollution. These effects are caused by the plastic properties that makes it hard to fully eliminate the material. Plastic properties could last for hundreds of years, and if it remained in the environment, will with the addition of more plastic waste getting scattered, it won't take long until the human race will be walking on plastic grounds. Instead of eliminating plastic, why don't we reuse plastic? Why don't we recycle plastic? We can utilize plastic for other uses as well. Indonesian government planned to start implementing customs and taxation to plastic materials at the start of 2023. By implementing this new financial law, manufacturing companies that utilizes plastic packaging will be charged extra for their utilization in plastic packaging. This new financial law can be considered as a good step in combating plastic usage in Indonesia. But some citizens and even the Indonesian Entrepreneur Association, or for short APindo, blatantly refused to the idea of this new law. On the 16th of December 2022, the head director of APindo, Haryadi Sukamdani, expressed his disapproval regarding this law through his response, and I quote, "The usage of plastic may be viewed as the highest cause in carbon emission, but there are other materials that cause higher carbon emission other than plastic." Haryadi further criticized that instead of planting taxation and customs law towards plastic materials, it is better for the government to implement a more efficient and better ways to recycle or eliminate plastic materials. Especially since it is one of the many issues brought up in G20. The government's strategy in implementing taxation to plastic materials might be following the strategy that European countries have implemented in the past and currently still implementing it. In 2021, the European Union's Green Deal requires every European country to implement tax for plastic materials, where these taxes act as the funding sources of the government's recycling process. With this information in mind, it can be analyzed that tax implementation on plastic can be implemented once there's a viable system to process the plastics. The tax funds will be used to fund the system to process plastic wastes. The government's initiative on taxing plastic materials should be taken as a warning for every Indonesian citizen to pay more attention to plastic waste pollution. It is worth understanding that sustainable environment can only be achieved in a unified movement. Corporations can conduct more CSR movement towards plastic, while government creates a more supporting regulation that facilitates the citizens with easier methods in recycling plastic waste. And regarding the taxation news, both perspective, whether it is the government's or the APindo's perspective, can be understood. It is a matter of on how we as a community and our society will solve this issue together and not separately from each other. With that being said, I have been your host this morning, Rendy Gustavianno Surya, signing off.